Hey guys, it's the South Spite, and today I'm going to teach you how to persevere. I know, that's a tough one, right? Yeah. So let me just explain to you why I chose to do this video. So I'm a part of this awesome group called the Dainty Dozen, and every quarter I will have to come to you with a nice, video teaching you different lessons and stuff. And in this group, I learn how to market my brand, get my logo, getting all professional and stuff. And so that's what we're doing. And so this is my first video where I'm teaching you how to persevere. I chose this topic because it is a topic that is near and dear to my heart, because I feel as if when people ask me to describe myself in one word, I always say persevere. Like, I am a person that perseveres no matter what comes my way. I'm telling you, things be trying to knock you off, but some kind of way, like, I just get back up. Well, it's not some kind of way. I know it's only by the grace of God that I get back up, but I persevere. So I just want to give you guys a little background history. So I first started styling like 10 years ago, and I decided to go to fashion school while I was working at Rainbow. And the customers would come in and they'd be like, oh my God, who did those mannequins? Like, those visuals are awesome. Like, who did that? And a lot of people would say, I did it. And so different customers like, she needed to go to fashion school. Another customer was like, she needed to go to fashion school. Another customer was like, she needed to go to fashion school. And so they was planting seed into me, because every time I heard it, I started thinking about it. And every time that they planted that seed into me, it started, like, the hunger for me to go to fashion school became stronger. And so I talked to my best friend one day. Her name is Maria. And I was like, do you think I should go to fashion school? Like, I think I should go to fashion school. Like, I'm really gifted at this. And so she was like, yeah, I think that'll be a good idea. Now, let me tell you something about me. Like, when I am determined about something, nothing can stop me. Only thing I gotta do is make my mind up. Once I make my mind up about something, oh baby, only God can stop me, because I can't be moved. Like, you just can't easily move me like that. And so, I was like, okay, I'm going to fashion school. So I went down to Miami, I saw the school, and I fell in love. My mom and I went back, and I was just like, oh my God, this is the place that I want to be. So I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm working at Rainbow. I can transfer down there to Rainbow. And I had already found my roommate online. Like, this is how determined I was. Like, her name is Lillian. I miss you, Lillian. Oh. But her name was Lillian. I found her online, and she's a Christian. And I was like, oh, she looks so sweet. Like, and she's a ballerina. And I was like, okay, well, this is, I wanted to make sure that I was in the right environment with the right person, and while I was there, because, you can do anything, like get messed up. So, so I went there and I moved in with Lillian, and I was going to school, and I couldn't get a job. Like, I've been with Rainbow for so long, and they would not transfer me there. So I'm just like, oh my God. And so my mom was paying my bills, but then my mom was trying to maintain her bills in Jacksonville. And it was just too much, because she didn't have her business then. And so I'm just like, okay, well, I'm not gonna put this burden on you. So I'm gonna come back to Jacksonville. So I moved back home, and I started back working at Rainbow. Yeah, they gave me a job then. But yeah, so I started working back at Rainbow, and then at that moment I could have given up. But I was like, no, I'm going to get me some business cards, because I want to be a fashion stylist. So I'm going to get me some business cards made, and I'm going to network my butt off, and I'm going to get my name out there one way or another. And so I did my first photo shoot with a photographer by the name of Carissa. Yeah, you were my first. I was like a newbie. And so I did my photo shoot, and the models were my friends. Like, I didn't have anybody, I didn't know no models or anything like that. And I thank God that I had friends around me at that time that believed in me, and they was like, okay, yeah, I'll do this for her. Like, and they did it. I don't know if it's the fact that I'm the type of friend, like, you can't tell me no, like, Like, no, what is that? And so, you know, they did it. And for the longest, I was using them for the longest. And then as I, you know, gradually started meeting new people and everything and spreading my wing, you know, spreading my wings out there, I started working with other models and, you know, things like that. So I just want to let my friends know that I appreciate you guys so much. And I thank God that you guys believed in me so much that you helped me to do my groundwork. And so fast forward to, you know, after all that or whatever, I started meeting people. I started getting my work in magazines, like magazines in New York, magazines, international magazines. Like I was being flown to New York to do like paid gigs. I'm like, oh my God, like girl, I have arrived. Like, yes. And then it all went downhill. Like everything just came at a standstill. Like, oh my God, like the shoots started, like my shoots wasn't going as like they should have went, and things were going wrong. I was getting frustrated, and I was just over the whole styling thing. I was just like, this is not what I want to do. Like, I'm tired of this. And so I decided to give up. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this no more. And so I just gave. But every time, I decided to give up, but every time that I tried to give up, I got a paid job. And so I think that paid job was God's way of letting me know that, hey, girl, I got you. Like, you don't have to stop. And so it's like every time that I hit like a brick wall, like he just like makes me go like another way. Like he maneuvers me some kind of way where I can get back on track, and I tried another direction. So you know how they say if plan A don't work, plan B, C, and D will work or whatever. But my plan A, B, C, D to Z is all to reinforce plan A, really. And so from there, you know, I stopped at a standstill with styling. So it's just like, I was like, you know, my dream has always oh, I can't talk. My dream has always been to have a store on Rodeo Drive. And so I started having dreams about opening up a store. And I'm like, dang, I don't even know what I would want to call my store name. Like, I was like, I wanted to have like an Italian name to it. I don't want it to be something ghetto or anything. I want it to be something that has like a little hint, like, you know, yeah, that's it, or whatever. Like, at first I was like, you know, like Margiano's or something. Like, I wanted something Italian or whatever, because I just knew that I was going to be on Rodeo. Like, I just know that my store is going to be on Rodeo Drive. And so I need something that's going to be legit, like that's going to be up there with Alexander, what's that boy name? Alexander McQueen, yeah. I can't even think. So I was talking to my friend. I was like, what about Jacob T? And she's like, nah. And then I talked to my first lady, and I was like, I'm thinking about opening up a store. How do you feel about Jacob T? And she was like, yeah, I like that. And so I was like, okay, I think I'll do that. And so I started thinking about it. I was like, no, Jacket. The Jacket, yeah, that's it. I was like, yeah, I love that name. Like, Jacket, it has that ring to it. And I was like, and I can spell it like the initials in my name. And so that's how I got Jacket. Well, you know, I'm thinking, okay, well, I'm going to order this stuff. Like, I had already prepared myself before I decided to open up Jacket. So I took a small business class, and I started learning, you know, things about it and everything like that. So when the time came, I was able to open up my store. And so I opened up my store, and I was just like, oh, I know a lot of people, like, of course they'll support me. Like, it's me. Like, I'm just a fashionable person. Yeah. When I first opened up my store, I sold out. Like, I sold out an item because Toya Wright had it on, and when she had it on, like, I just commented and said, oh, I have this at my store, and I immediately sold out. Blogs were writing about it and featuring my store. After that, the sales went downhill, and I'm just like, oh my God, I cried so much trying to get this store up and off the ground. I'm like, God. Matter of fact, as I'm speaking right now, today is my 4th anniversary, my fourth birthday, or whatever you want to call it, for Jacket or whatever. And so it has been one of the toughest things to do. And so let me tell you how I persevere to get me through these challenges. I get me a vision board book. I make sure that I'm around friends that believe in me and that push me. So they be like, oh, you want to have a vision board party? And I'll be like, okay, let me go to this. So I have a vision board book. I have a vision board poster. I just started making declaration. I'm like Mary Jane on being Mary Jane with the little sticky notes. I have sticky notes, and I started speaking life into my businesses and things that I want and my aspirations. And so I've been speaking life, and it works because like sometimes when I like get to my breaking point and I'm like, God, this is like, let me tell you, okay, I guess I wanted to enjoy this moment by myself, and you know, just before I announce it to everyone, because sometimes you get so excited about things. Well, I'm not going to tell you, but sometimes you can get excited about things and you release it too soon. And so I was up here and I was going through like my old inventory from Jacket, and I was like, I'm just gonna give this away. Like it's not even on my website no more, so I'm just gonna give it away to somebody else and make somebody else day. So I just got some stuff and I started packing it up, giving it away to people. 3 days later, I got a call or a text or whatever with a promotion. And I was just like, while I was packing my stuff up, I was like, God, this can be discouraging. Like, it can be so discouraging when you try and 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 nothing happens. I'm just like, oh my God, like this would be so discouraging. Like everybody can see your talent and they'd be like, oh, well, you just need to leave. Why are you just here? Why won't you just get up and go? And then the Lord is just saying, nope, you stand still. Nope, don't you move. And I was just like, oh, like, what do you do when you're so gifted and the Lord is telling you don't move? It's too much. So, I'll tell you a lot of things how I persevere is because I stay on my face. Like I'm not even gonna put this like front like I'm perfect, because I am so not perfect. Like I tell my dad and then my dad, we're so close or whatever. So like I can tell him the real, like I can be real with him without being judged, and that's the good thing about it. And so we were talking, I was like, you know, Daddy, sometimes I'm a heathen. Like I was like, I'm not holy. He's like, you're not holy. I'm like, no, I'm not really holy. Like I can't say I'm a saint because like I sin. Like I don't have it together. But you know what? That's fine, because when I talk to God, he knows me or whatever, and I make sure that I have a relationship with him, and that if I'm getting off track and he be like, girl, your slip's showing, like you're doing too much now, he put me right back together. And that's the beauty of having like a relationship with God. And so I don't have to decree that, oh, I'm a saint or I'm holier than thou or I'm holy and stuff like that. I can just be myself, and that's the beauty of it. So yeah, I'm on a tangent, but anyhow, let me reel this back in. And so tip one to persevere would be to get you a visual. Like if you can see it, then you can visualize it, and it will remind you every day, like, hey, this is why I'm doing it. Tip two is to make sure that you have a great support system. Make sure that the people that surround you is not envious of you and believes in you and will push you to the max. Tip three, make sure you have a relationship with God, because if you do not have a relationship with God, you will fail. You can only do so much on your own, and trust me, you don't hit your head a couple of times, you're gonna give it up. Listen to me. And tip four is to, no matter what, give it your all. I don't care if you get knocked down, give it your all. Like pick yourself back up again and try again. That's how you persevere. Don't let nothing stop you. You hear me? Don't let nothing stop you. You have to persevere. You have to get up off. You have to dust yourself. Yeah, it's going to hurt sometimes. Yeah, you're going to cry sometimes. But you're going to have to dust yourself off. You're going to have to get back up. You're going to have to say, you know what? I can do this. I can make it. Like, I am a conqueror. Like, I have to tell myself I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me so many times to, like, And God already know that's my go-to scripture. I'm like, I can do this, I can do this. If I get scared, I'll be like, yeah, no, I walk into that shop. I won't fear no evil. God, I won't fear no evil. Because that's how it is. That's how you become great. Great champions are not made because they just give up. Like, no, they get knocked down. Champions are people who get whooped and like they get knocked the heck out. They are taking some tickings for the licking. So however they say, licking for the tickings, so whatever they say, they are getting knocked out and they're getting frustrated and it's just like they tired. And sometimes they running this race and then you running this race and running this race, and by the time you get to the end of the finish line, you are tired, you're exhausted, and like you're about to fall over, like but you're running and you're falling over and you're falling over, and it's just like, but hey, I made it to this finish line. And that's what makes a champion, and that's how you persevere. You persevere because you never give up. Like, don't ever give up. Alright, I know this video is going to be so long because I can talk so long and I'm very winded and I couldn't even get into all the details of perseverance, but I hope that I said something that touches somebody out there and that they look at this video and they be like, you know what, girl, you're right. If you can do it, then I can do it. Like I feel as if I'm unstoppable with God. Like, I don't feel as if nothing can stop me. I asked a question one time on Facebook, like, what would you do if you couldn't do anything? A lot of people was like, I'll pray. Yeah, why would you pray? Because God already told you you could do it. Like, I think people, they get too deep. They're like, oh, well, I'll do it this way. Like, no, he already told you you can do it. Why wouldn't you just go out there and do it? Like, just do it. Okay, I'm signing off. With that note, remember, like Nike, just do it. I'm the Style Sprite, and this is the end of my How to Persevere video.